Professor Wergeles here. We are on lecture number 26. We're going to look at some new concepts today. So we're moving on from model view controller. And we're going to look at how to get set up for the current challenge. So we're going to start with number one, MediaPlay. You can download that to your local machine. We'll go ahead and open that up in NetBeans. I'm going to go ahead and make a new directory. Then we'll load that into NetBeans, and we'll first start out in the main class. I've opened up MediaPlay.java. You're going to see we're back into Java FXML. In Java FXML, I have the start method. The stage is passed as a parameter. I have an FXML loader that's going to load the FXML file and will create an instance of the controller. If I open up the FXML file, if I do a right click and select edit, scroll all the way to the right, you'll see the controller here is linked. So I have in the MediaPlay package, I have a class called player controller. So player controller will be created and instantiated once the FXML loader loads that resource. Now I'm going to set the scene, put the scene on the stage, and then show the stage, just like a normal JavaFX application. The main set of code is going to be here in the controller. And what we're going to look at is how can we load different types of media into our application so we can use that for our audio-visual challenge. So let's first look at how we can load audio files. So up at the top, if I open up this player.fxml file, we're going to need to link some of the elements inside of the FXML file. So opening the FXML file, you'll see I have an anchor pane. Inside the anchor pane, I have buttons. So these buttons will need on click. I also have text. And the last is I have a media view. So you can almost think of it as an image view. When we're setting up an image view, I have an image. I need to put the image in the image view, and then I need to put the image view on the display, so on the scene. Same with media. I'm going to have a media object that's going to go in the media view, and the media view is now on the scene, which is in our anchor pane. So let's link these. If I open up the code section, you'll see the media view has an FX ID, and also the text has an FX ID. So now what I can do is I can write these, or I can also let NetBeans write them for me. So if I right click and do make controller, it's going to find those FX IDs and then create those inside of the controller class. Now, we have the media view, so that's essentially going to embed the media that we're going to load onto the view, but we need some type of player. Now, the player is going to handle whether we want to stop, whether we want to pause, whether we want to play. So we need to create a media player instance as well. So here I'm going to create a media player. Media player is going to be the type of the object, and I can specify whatever name. So in the initialize, that's like our constructor. So in the main class, when the FXML loader loads the FXML file, it's going to instantiate the controller, and this initialize method will get called. So this is a good place to initialize all your objects and to set up listeners. So first, I'm going to load a type of media. In this case, we're going to load an MP3 file. So I have the media class, and that's going to instantiate a media object, and we're going to pass what we want to load in at the constructor. Now, it's similar to what we do when we were loading CSS files. We're going to reference the current class, and from the current class, we're going to try to get a resource. So I'm going to use the get resource method, and then you'll see I have some default MP3s here. So instead of writing this out, you can click on rename, select all the text, copy it, and then go ahead and paste it inside the get resource. Make sure it's in quotes. Okay, that way I don't need to type that out myself just in case I miss some of the spaces or the dash. And then just like a CSS file, we're going to call to external form. So we're going to get this resource and we're going to load it to an external form. If I open up this method in the show Java doc, you'll see to external form constructs a string representation of this URL. The string is created by calling the toExternalForm method of the stream protocol handler for this object. So it's going to look at the current class, grab the link for it, get the resource next to the current class, which is right here, and then specify the URL for that. Now, just like an image, we also then need to put this into the media player, and then we need to put the media player in the media view. So here comes the media player. So we've already defined the media player up above. So now I need to pass the media to the media player. We're going to pass that in the constructor. Okay, and then if I want to connect this to the view, I'll call my media view. They have a set media player function, and we're going to pass in the media player that we created. As of right now, everything is set up correctly. I have a media file. The media file is going to be put in the media player, and I put the media player in the media view. So I'm going to essentially embed this media player on the view. If I do a show Java doc, you'll see sets the media player whose output will be handled by this view. So if I scroll up, you'll see the media view is a node that provides a view of media being played by a media player. So I can display a video, okay, which we're going to run a video here shortly. So if I run this, here comes my scene and my stage. If I scroll down, you'll see I have some methods here. So when I click the play button, I'm going to tell the media player to go ahead and play. I also have pause and stop. And then you're going to see event listeners as well. On the media player, whenever it's paused, this function will be executed. So it'll be triggered. When it's stopped, this function will get triggered. So these are Lambda expressions calling this function here. So you'll see the block of code, that's a function. So whenever the media is ready, you'll see it calls ready. If it's playing, it'll set the text to playing. And I have all these event listeners here, which will be useful when you're doing your challenge. And you'll see here it shows the ready text. So if I click on play, you'll see it says now playing. When I change the speaker, now you can hear it. So you'll see it was playing before, but it was playing in my headphones. Now I can pause. You'll see where the audio file is paused at, how many milliseconds. I can stop. If I play again, you'll see it starts over. Now we don't just have to play one audio file, we can play other audio files as well. Okay, if I pause and do play, it'll resume where it was left off. Stop will reset the audio back to the beginning. So I can play other audio files as well. I copy this text, change the MP3, run it, go ahead and do a play. We have other files as well. Now this is a media player. Doesn't have to always play audio files. It can also play video files, which we'll see next. Stick with Professor Wergeles, and we'll see you in the next video.